Previously on PolyArmoury.
The main adversarial disruption we have right now is the whole issue with Thordson's little lot. I understand you had mentioned that you had plans.
You discovered that the monks of Napping had once taken in a lad whose parents had been killed, and then the monks of Napping were killed.
Yes.
So you had Napping as a lead.
And Napping is above ground.
It's above ground, far to the north.
I'm not sure the stealth cart would really be your best bet, though. It's a bit bright and breezy up there. Perhaps something a little more muted.
I would imagine you'd probably have seen an apple tree at some point during this journey.
Dusty is the happiest man alive.
The next day, you wake up with the bright thing back in the sky. And you head out of the woods on the far side, still heading north. And it goes from being sort of a variety of, like, you'll see corn growing and wheat, various crops growing along the way. Occasional patches of trees. And you've noticed that maybe for, like, most of the morning, it's been just long, straight fields of this sort of low, sort of shrubby bush.
Oh!
Just fields and fields and fields as far as your eyes can see of potatoes.
Oh, potatoes. Potatoes are great.
And you notice as you're starting to get towards the other side of town, you're finally seeing the end of these potato fields. There appears to be some work on cutting down, like, the forest nearby. There seems to be, like, camps of people. They have been throughout the daylight hours cutting down the trees. And as it's starting to get twilighty, you can see what's going on here. And it's almost like, as the things are cleared, more potato fields are being put in. Greetings, my child.
Hi. We're new to the village, and we're a little curious if what all this is.
These are offerings for our goddess.
Oh, okay. Which goddess is that? Could you tell me more about Pussmare?
She is the lost goddess. She who has said that she will return, yet she has not yet returned. We increase the gifts that we provide for her in the hopes that it will draw her back to her divine home.
You thought perhaps if this many potatoes haven't brought her back, then maybe try some.
We provide Pussmare that which she has requested. If you wish to join our order, please come in.
So I guess the plan for now is collect information and take this down from the inside.
You just need to help or sit for your first night's odata. So you are led all the way downstairs, past the large plate, slowly filling with fried potato products, and into, basically, in front of you is the inside of the large door, which is beautiful and ornate. The room is almost completely dark. There's just, like, a few flickering candles, and behind you are just, like, bleachers, just full of monks in golden robes, sitting there holding chalices.
This has got a real we're about to drink the Kool-Aid vibe to it.
After about 6 hours of staring at this door, you hear the door that you came through swing open again, and this huge plate of just really nice-smelling fried potato product is just wheeled to the front in front of the door. Brilmara, that's a big plate of chips. That is a big plate of chips. Whatever it is they're trying to summon apparently requires a big plate of chips.
Yeah.
You are very aware that no one is drinking the wine. Nobody's even moving, really. You've noticed that since you came in, no one else has filed in. This seems to be like, this is a period of time where people do this. And after about, as I say, you get to the end of like 8 hours of this. The chips have been in for about 4 hours. They're starting to go cold.
It's clear that they've not enticed in the way they were supposed to.
They've not done whatever they were supposed to do. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Stone Monkey Radio and Curiosity Epidemic's roleplay show, PolyArmoury. I always trick myself up when I try and say that in one go. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
How is everyone?
I'm good. I'm looking out at the world. It's been a nice sunny day outside the window today.
Outside the window? TM.
Yeah, outside the window, the place that we haven't been allowed to go since the event.
That's really going to date this show, because we're like 22 weeks ahead, so...
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. The depressing thing is it might not date the show.
Oh no, don't say that.
It might not. I mean,
Yeah.
people have been saying up to 18 months, and we're only in, like, week 4, so...
Yeah, gosh. How's everyone else doing?
Day drinking.
I mean, I was fine until like a minute ago, and then we talked about the curve.
It's fine. We've got mysteries to solve. That'll get us through.
Mystery.
I'm very excited to solve the mystery of the chips.
I'm in the extreme minority.
Yeah? Tell us about your extreme minority, Nick.
Oh, I like it.
Yay!
I could live indoors forever, or be in space. I don't know, one of the two.
I like the idea of being indoors until I'm told that I'm not allowed to go out, and then suddenly going outside is the only thing I want to do anymore.
I was doing fine until, like, Thursday, I think. And then I was like, ah. And now I'm fine again.
I think I'm still mostly fine. I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Well, so, previously you had joined a cult, I believe.
Yeah.
Purely for mystery-solving purposes.
Sure.
I'm sure that's everyone who ends up in a cult says.
And to see what's with those potatoes.
Yeah. It's like, no. I'm just in this cult for the mysteries. That's it. I've definitely not been brainwashed.
Not yet.
When are
There's
they
still time.
when are they passing out the cups of Kool-Aid again?
It's not Kool-Aid, it's wine.
I'm just in this cult ironically, guys. Come on.
Oh, I see.
And
Hipster-
before it gets
hipster
cool,
cult.
so that we can say we joined this cult before it was cool and then left.
Yeah.
Too many people know about this cult now. It's too easy. You just walk in the front door and they let you in. I like my
Right.
cults to be a little bit more like, you know,
Exclusive?
you've got to know someone who's related to someone who opened the cult in the first place. You know.
Goodness.
So I've had a week to decide whether or not I want to drink the wine and then yeet myself down the hole after the chips.
Do you wish to do this?
I have yet to decide.
Oh, that's
I-
nice.
I feel like we maybe, get through 2 or 3 more days of being in a cult before we commit to what may be a one-way street. Yeah, collect some intel first.
I also had another idea.
Right.
It involves ketchup.
Okay.
I can see where this is going.
Well, we're going to be here for a while. I was going to say we could just make a giant Dendar circle and then convince them that their gods come back just as a slightly different variant this time.
I don't think we can solve all our problems with Dendar.
No, but I want to try and solve all our problems with Dendar because Dendar is a very bad way to solve problems. And I find it hilarious.
I think that's valid.
Thank you.
So, I'm just going to keep saying so. So, last time we all gathered here, you had joined a cult, and you had witnessed your first Odota. You watched some people watch chips get cold, or watch a door, and then leave, and the next lot filed in. So you've been in the cult about a week or so. You go and do your turn of the Odota. You work in the kitchen making chips, and you sometimes go out and tend the fields.
Have we noticed anything interesting during this time?
It seems to just be a cycle. They go out, they get potatoes from the fields, they cut the potatoes up in the kitchen, they fry the potatoes, they stick them on the big plate, they wheel them out in front of the big ornate door. Everyone sits on the bleachers, holding their glass or chalice of wine, staring at the door.
Okay, so I have some things that I think during the week of this cycle, Brilmara would probably have wanted to be looking out for to try
Okay.
and suss out. First of all, any obvious people who are in, like, positions of power, any noticeable, like, that's a person who probably knows shit.
Okay. So, about the middle of the week, you see someone who's just being sort of... They look like they're being sort of followed around by other acolytes. And you get the impression that, whereas everyone else has been very much getting on and doing their own thing, the way that this person was being followed implied that perhaps they were being asked for advice or what they should be doing.
Okay. And are there any areas of this place that we've been told, like, you don't go in there, not allowed in there?
You haven't seen anywhere.
So far...
Oh no, although nobody goes through
Yeah.
the big front door.
Okay, so other than the big door that we sit and watch sometimes, there's nowhere else obvious that's like that we've been told like you're not a high enough level person in Scientology to go in the wing where we keep all the books about the alien that's going to abduct us.
You've had a wander around the library floor. You will have seen library stuff, lots of books, people studying the books.
Any books about the actual nature of this god?
Roll investigation.
How many books could there be? It seems like a pretty
Thousands.
straightforward cult.
I mean, if you go on Amazon right now, I'm sure you'll find a lot of books about potatoes.
Dusty got a 7. He's
Oh,
not
we all
been
get to
too
roll.
into investigating. He's been spending most of his time trying to learn to speak potato like that Furbolg.
14 on investigation for Brilmara.
D got a 9. Dismissive of this investigation.
Okay, there's a lot of books about potatoes and potato blight and various potato-related how to make your potatoes bigger and better, how to make them grow better, how to treat a potato if it is sad.
Are there any on how to talk potato?
There's nothing on the language of potatoes. You get the impression that's probably more of a druid craft.
How do I know if a potato's sad?
Well, presumably we read the book.
Is this why we didn't do anything good on the investigation?
Basically, the book is like the ailments of the potato. And like, if it's gone green, probably not good to eat. That one, though, you can use it for like mulch or something.
Do not make into chip.
But nothing about like, hey, here's the potato god and why what we're hoping it's gonna do.
Nothing that you've seen.
Is there any
Okay.
drinking potato books?
There are a few books on how to make vodka, but they tend to be sort of frowned on by the more senior members of the cult.
Is this not one of the approved uses of the potato?
It's not chips,
Is that the only thing they make? It's just chips.
as far as you can tell.
Is that the only thing we eat?
Yes.
Oh, I imagine Dusty looks kind of sludgy at this point.
Oh.
or quite stiff, too much starch.
Maybe. I'd also like it noted that he's taken the time to make Puff his own little tiny robes.
Oh.
Do they have a little hole in the back for his wings to poke out?
They do. I used the excess from Brilmara's because I didn't want to trip him over, and then I was like, well, since I'm here.
Adorable.
I hope that they're not too angry that I just started cutting up their things.
Okay. I'm trying to remember the description we had last week of the big ceremony that happens.
Dear daughter.
Yes. At any point during that ceremony, does the door get opened?
The big door?
Yeah. No. Like the chips aren't brought through it or back out.
No.
Into it or
So
anything.
there's like bleachers, and at the bottom of them there's like a section that opens up from the kitchens, and they just wheel through the big plate. And then
Okay.
at the end of the ceremony, if it's gone as it has every time you've seen it, they open up a hole in the floor, tip the chips into the hole in the floor, everybody chucks their wine down the hole, and then they go out and... Apologies, I said they don't make anything else, they do make potato wine.
They make potato wine.
Yes. It's not good.
So it's like
Is potato wine just a different name for vodka?
Don't think so.
Yeah, you have to filter vodka.
potato wine would presumably be like 18%, 15 to 18% alcohol.
I suppose so. Okay, yeah. Watered down vodka wine.
Starchy vodka wine.
Is it clear?
Not particularly.
Is this the cloudy apple juice of vodka?
They seem to be vegan, so they don't use any sort of clarifying agents to deal with the sediment.
Okay.
Okay.
As sediment, Dusty is relieved.
So I'm currently pondering thoughts about uses for my unseen servant.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm trying to puzzle out if there's anywhere perhaps that I could get the unseen servant to perhaps tail this person you mentioned who has people following them around asking for advice. Because they can come back to me, and at the very least they can write in the dirt, in the dust, my unseen servant to pass me information. So
Okay.
I don't know what I'm hoping they'll notice, but I'm like, can I just like stay at a distance and get my unseen servant to listen in? The distance on Unseen Servant is 60 feet
60
from
feet.
me, so I would have to be in the general vicinity, but I could be far enough away that, like, plausibly, it wouldn't seem like I was listening in.
Okay, so let's say that you've gone up to the library. You're looking for books about how to stop potatoes being sad,
Yeah.
and you're just sort of just casually looking through it. It's just a book, No.
Yeah.
Oh, really? And your unseen servant is just gonna pop off and have a little float around, investigate, see what do.
Yeah.
And eventually they sort of come back to you and tap you on the shoulder, and you head outside near the potato fields. You head into the fields a little way, and you look like you're using some of your unsaddening techniques on the nearby potatoes.
Oh, hello, potatoes. I promise it's going to be okay. There will be no drought this year, potatoes.
And in this time, while you are soothing the potatoes, Unseen Servant is writing some information out on the floor. You get the impression that somewhere near Russet's office, there is like another office, but you've not been in there.
And not immediately visible office.
It's not super obvious.
Okay. Can the Unseen Servant sort of point me in the direction of it?
Okay, so you're going to head back in. Are you taking the others with you?
I feel like if we have this information, I think I might round the others up and sort of head in that direction.
Okay, so Nick, you've been in the kitchen. What have you been doing today apart from making chips? Like a good acolyte.
Do you want to see if there were faces or particular other acolytes that were either gone or over the last week, if there was anyone who stepped out of line?
Okay, no, everyone seems to be very focused on the task in hand.
Mm-hmm.
They want to get Pussmare back. I suppose you can tell that seems to be their single driving force. No one's really got in trouble. There aren't any sort of like particularly bad monks. Occasionally someone will accidentally burn the chips. But it's all forgive and forget. But those chips are not going on the big plate. They'll probably get served for dinner.
As far as cults, this seems really benign.
Apart from the whole destruction of the forest thing, which is...
Yeah, apart from that.
Yeah.
Like, if they could just moderate
Yeah.
the amount of chips they produce, I'd be perfectly happy with this cult doing its thing. From what I currently know.
More potatoes.
Well, they have to have all potatoes, though. They can't do apples or other things.
I mean, I don't know why they're pushing the furbolgs out. Surely they should be like the best friends with the people that are best at potatoes and, everything.
But more potato. What if more potato?
That is an argument, for sure. Hey, these people can literally speak to the potatoes. Less potato, but happier potato.
There are no books in that library on how to speak potato. And we can just potato in a different direction. Do you know how much room there is for potato in the Underdark?
I don't know if potatoes would grow in the Underdark.
I don't know.
There's magic users for that.
Potatoes.
Do they
I don't
need
know
a
what
lot of sun?
potatoes need.
I assume that the leaves at least need sunlight.
You would want to put together and see, even roughly, if we're growing and using all the potatoes that we have, or if something's like maybe inefficient. I don't know if this is...
Okay, give me an investigation.
Hello? I clicked the button. Oh, good.
A 3 is not going to do it, I'm afraid.
These sure are potatoes.
They sure are potatoes. You better keep chopping them up and frying them.
Okay, then maybe you would do this. Does this seem like something that is sustainable? Like, big picture, I guess, angling insight-wise.
I mean, there's a lot of potatoes.
How long can they keep doing this in this one place?
They haven't had any issues with the fertility of the ground yet, so...
Okay.
Justy, you've been out in the fields. What have you been doing?
Dusty's been loving that.
Yeah, all that earth you can mould.
Right. While everyone else has been messing around doing things with, their people bodies, Dusty's just been moving the dirt with his brain meats. It's not been a very efficient use of his time, considering that he is quite strong and quite simple. But what they don't know is that he's been building little tunnels underneath the potatoes.
Underneath the potatoes? What?
Because you see, mould earth, it has a range of 30 feet.
Right, so you're just going 25 foot down and then making tunnels?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not sure what he's going to use them for yet, but it feels like he'll bring it up if Brilmara suddenly look like they need potato tunnels.
Tunnels. So
Ah.
Have you been down any of these tunnels to check on them, or are you just going from above?
Just going from above, like keeping track of, well, if this is where the earlies and the second earlies meet, then I'll do a line down the middle of that and then I'll remember where it is. He doesn't know what he's going to use his Tato tunnels for, he only knows that he has Tato tunnels.
We now have hiding places and escape routes, I guess.
Guess so.
Ah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
not just a mucky face.
Indeed. So back to Brilmara.
Yeah, let's assemble and maybe nosy around this office a little bit.
Okay, so are you going to go out to the field to have this conversation, or?
Yeah, so somewhere away from people, I'll be like, hey, so, invisible friend happened to see there's an office that I never noticed.
Mhm.
It's between those two doorways. If you sort of like look back from a bit of an angle, there's a door there. There's another office.
Hmm.
And so far, there's been nowhere where anything has been at all secretive that we haven't been allowed to go. And I feel like a place we didn't notice, that's tucked out the way, might hold secrets.
I agree.
To the secrets! Dusty, like, Superman points to the distance and he assumes the pose and just the dirt comes up to slowly snail him along from underneath. It's been a real fucking problem to get him to walk from A to B
So
lately.
you're just surfing everywhere now?
Yep,
Cool.
Is Dusty doing this openly?
yeah.
Does anybody seem to have any kind of problem with this?
As long as it's not disturbing the potatoes, no one seems to mind.
Oh,
Do any of our party have any way of knowing what is in a room before we go in?
Decod augury.
Ooh.
AskGod.com.
Yeah, maybe before we head in, ask, like, are we safe to enter? Because, like, I think Brilmara's thinking is, it's probably safe because if we've been here a week and not noticed this door, the point of it is probably, the fact that you haven't noticed it is probably enough security.
I don't know if I can be that specific. It'll only tell me if going in is a good idea, bad idea.
That's what I mean. That was me just
Okay.
musing, but I mean, like, can we ask, like, is it safe for us to enter?
I will
Or
do
is it safe
so.
for us to enter at this time?
And what say God?
Oh, potato god.
You're asking Potato God, not Nick's God.
No, ask Nick's god. We don't speak potato. We can't ask the potato god.
No. You get the sense that it would be a bad idea to go in right this second.
Okay.
And almost as soon as you get that response,
Mm-hmm.
basically a whole section of books just moves back into the wall, slides along,
Oh.
and you see this sort of, you assume, slightly senior person walk out. They gesture at the books behind them, which slide back into place. Roll stealth, everyone.
Oh, good.
Stealth?
Famously great at stealth.
11.
9.
Oh, I have a really high modifier at least. 11.
Wonderful.
Above
Uh,
average.
So this figure turns to you all, sort of vaguely lurking outside his office, and says,
Is there anything I can help you with, my children?
Oh, sorry. We were just having a meeting about the fact that we wish there was a better way we could communicate with the potatoes to understand what they're exactly feeling. Because obviously we've got the books about the various things that can ail them. But if only we could talk to the potatoes, wouldn't that be a thing? We were just pondering if there was anyone in the building that might know more about potato language.
Unfortunately, we do not have anyone with the ability to speak to the plants themselves. Do you think perhaps that this is what keeps Pussmare away?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I've been doing the meditations on the door, and I feel like my personal quest for knowledge is still a long way from its answers. Are there any answers that, as a collective, we've come to knowledge of what may or may not be the cause?
As Pussmare did not return at the time that was due, we have simply prepared larger and larger portions of chips, that she might have that which she desires.
Is it possible that it's not the quantity of chips that's the problem? Is it possible that the quality of or the variety of the chips, or something completely unrelated? Maybe it's a matter of internal faith and not a matter of increased crop yields.
at the mention that it might be an issue of faith, He clutches his
I
chest.
said, not your. I obviously don't mean yours, but I mean as a collective. If not everyone in the collective has the same level of faith as you, it might be that the average level of faith is being brought down by non-believers or those who are new and struggling with their faith.
Do they not sit for your daughter?
They do, they do.
Do they not prepare lovingly only the finest chips?
They do, but actions of faith and internal belief of faith are hard things to measure.
Then
Well-
what do you propose?
I don't know. I'm merely musing that perhaps there is a world in which the answer isn't the amount of... Because I would argue we're producing more potatoes than I believe has been asked for, and it doesn't seem to be fixing the problem. And perhaps we're fixated in on one solution.
I will take your words under advisement. If you'll excuse me, I must get to your daughter.
Ah, yes.
Of
And
course.
He hurries away.
Hopefully Brilmara's musings about potato religion have at the very least, gone, look, see, I'm thinking about religion. I'm not here as a spy.
Not today.
Strange of you to suggest that some newcomers might not be very faithful.
Yeah, that seemed like a weird call.
No, it was...
New people, like us.
No, we've been here a week. That's newer people than us.
There isn't.
Probably. No,
Are
okay.
there?
No.
Okay, well, I made that suggestion on the thought of, we can't be the only relatively new people here.
You remember driving here and there was nothing for just hundreds of miles. Just fields and
Okay.
fields and fields of potatoes.
Well, see, I'm just talking about these two. These two, I don't know how many people they are. I, on the other hand, I am a true believer in the potatoes.
Naturally.
Uh, I brought them over here to scold them about how maybe you're not believing hard enough.
So, now that that person has gone, what do you want to do?
Headed now, because they're gone, and it seems like they were the reason we shouldn't go in right that second.
Hmm.
Wait. How big is the keyhole?
You can't see any kind of keyhole.
No kind of gap.
Is there an equivalent of the Bible, but for potato religion, that we can pull on the bookshelf to open the secret passage?
Roll investigation?
19.
Ooh.
14.
Spicy. Nick? And a
Hmm.
12.
Yes.
Okay, overall, I'm going to say that was a pass. So, yeah, you basically find the Gospel of Pussmare.
Ooh.
It's in a beautiful sort of yellow-bound tome. You tip it slightly as you're going to pull it off the shelf, and you hear a click, and the panel slides back into the wall and opens up for you.
I recognise that I'm the one who put it out there that it might be like the potato Bible. The more I think about it, the more I go, that's the worst book to make your secret passageway book, because that's the one that a potato acolyte might just walk past and go, ah, yes, I wish to read up on religion. Ah, secret door. I would have, on second thought, maybe it would have been like...
I mean, you're in the religion section, so there's a lot
I-
of different books about
I
Pussmare.
suppose so. Maybe it would have been more suspicious if the bookshelf had had, the Book of Hating Potatoes. So is there, a visible just doorway now?
There is now a visible doorway in front of you.
And no one too much around that's going to notice?
Roll perception.
11.
Woo! Natural 20.
Whoop, whoop.
I got an 8, but I'm guessing Nick's going to carry us.
Okay, Becky and Laura, there's maybe someone. They're just at the end of the aisle. They seem to be just browsing a book while standing at the shelf. They haven't looked in your direction. Nick, you can tell this person is very much focused on their book, and if you nip in quickly, you can all get in without being noticed.
Go, go, go.
Go. In we
Speed
go.
surf.
Almost as soon as you are all inside, you hear another click, and the bookshelf slides back into position behind you.
Da, da, da.
And there's basically just a wall with a small switch in front of you.
Excellent.
Inside is a large wooden desk. It doesn't look sort of ornate. It's piled up with papers and books and so forth. And in the corner of the room, sort of hovering in this strange light, is a piece of yellow paper. Does anyone speak Celestial?
Ooh.
I speak primordial and undercommon.
Being in the Underdark, I doubt it. No. No.
Okay, so floating in this weird light in the corner of the room is this piece of yellow paper. It's a bit curled at the corners, written in a language none of you understand. And just sort of behind and above that is quite a grand picture of some female figure. She has long, ginger hair in curls that fall slightly past her shoulders. She's wearing like a corset top with one of those like white under corset shirts underneath, and she is almost falling out of it. Quite a big floofy skirt, and she's holding a tankard, and she looks a bit sozzled, I'll be honest.
I've just realised something. Puff can do celestial.
Okay.
Heck,
Oh.
Puff knows celestial Fey and Fiend. Heck,
Point the tiny dragon baby at
can I
it.
summon the dragon here with magic? I believe Find Familiar. I can do
Yeah,
that.
you can do that.
I can summon in Puff.
Okay, with a puff appears.
Hey, Puff. Got a secret mission for you. Can you read that?
Puff looks at the piece of paper, looks back at you, rolls his eyes, and telepathically communicates what it says on the piece of paper. Gone for a drink, back around 11:30, some chips would be great. Smiley face.
Okay.
You happen to know that the year is 1270.
12:07. Okay, so considerably late back. What does it say again, word for word?
Gone for a drink.
Gone for a drink, back around 11:30, some chips would be great. Smiley face.
Where would a god go for a drink?
Roll religion?
Is there a bar they go to?
8.
11.
Nick, how did you not have this?
Yeah, you've got the god for this job.
Feels like right up your god's alley.
Okay, so the thing about D is that they're not a very good cleric.
I botched.
Okay.
Honestly, even
I
worse,
think
cleric.
it's the local village pub.
Yeah, you think it's probably just nipped down the pub in the village that you passed earlier.
That solves that. We can go get Pussmare.
Perfect.
So yeah, can you reiterate the description of the woman?
She's busty and bawdy and nearly falling out of her top. She looks a little bit drunk. She's holding a tankard of some sort, and she's wearing like a corset top with one of those like white under corset tops, sort of floofy around the top. Yeah, she looks like she's having a drink.
She seems a lot more fun than her followers.
Yeah.
I can see why so many people follow her.
Theory. Is she down the bottom of the hole and every couple of hours they just keep getting her more drunk so she can't get out the hole?
What an interesting proposition.
Good, because I was really considering falling down the hole.
that is an option on the table. Is there anything else we can see in this room?
You can investigate the desk if you want.
Yeah, investigate.
Dusty's going to do a tiny percept just to make sure that no one's coming. 14 to Meerkat.
1. Invest.
18 to investigate.
So for 14, you can't hear anyone coming anywhere near. You would imagine that the leader that was just coming out of here is probably going to be a while, because those Adota sessions are about 8 hours.
I'm trying to work out what piss you're taking with Ardota.
Oh.
Yeah, there is something there.
So.
Okay, so yeah, 18 to investigate.
Okay, you rustle round the desk. It just seems alright. There is a bottle of vodka in one of the drawers. Apart from that, it's just sort of general paperwork, a few notes here.
So, when we get out of this place, I think my first question to find a subtle way to ask the person whose office this is to try and get a sense of if he knows what the note in his office says, if he can read it. Like, ask him some sort of innocuous question about, like, you know, how late is the god in showing up? Things that might give some indication of, hey, do you know that there was a going drinking be back soon note? Or are you just like, holy page, we praise you?
So you're heading out?
Can anyone think of anything else to do in here?
What does the room look like except for that there's a desk and a floaty glowy paper?
There's a large window next to the big painting. It looks out over the fields. I mean, it would be hard to look out over anything else at this point, because it's mostly fields of potatoes. The other thing is quite Spartan. You would imagine that really the security is not for keeping other monks out. It's mostly just for if some rando tried to break into the building, they would probably struggle to find their holy artifact.
Okay.
Is this room on the ground floor?
No, this is on the middle floor of 3.
Dusty has no further questions.
D can't think of anything else. It seems pretty harmless. This is pretty disarming for D.
I wonder if it's even a god.
It's a good question.
I think get out before we get in any more trouble and investigate places for gods to get drunk.
Okay. So you exit the office. Can I get stealth rolls from everyone?
7.
Oh, please.
Dusty continues to dirt surf.
9.
And a 9.
Come on.
D follows Dusty like, Dusty, stop. Come on.
10.
What makes you think you're not being surfed?
Okay, you're not super quiet coming out of there, or super stealthy or sneaky about it. If anything, like, the casual nature of how you walk out of here is probably what carries it, because no one seems to see you. That person that was down the end of the aisle seems to have moved on now. And you can smell fresh hot chips.
Really? In this place?
Yeah. You would guess that they're getting ready to wheel the big plate in.
Could we sneak into the plate and get poured down the thing?
We don't have an easy escape route. D doesn't feel great about that.
No, if we do that plan, we have to commit to it, but like...
I mean, I have a theory that I'm willing to bet that Dusty could probably get back out of the hole if he went down on his own.
Yeah, you reckon so?
I reckon it's worth a try, and it'll be funny if it doesn't work.
I mean, I'm willing to take that risk. It's not my D&D character that could be gone from the narrative, so sure.
Okay, I want to take my bag of holding, filled with dirt, and puff.
Okay. Okay. So are you going to try and do this on this plate of chips that's going to go in a minute, or are you planning to do this like when it's our turn for the Adotta?
I'm going to do it when it's our turn for the Adotta. I'm just going to wait for them to start I'm going to go and help them pour the chips down.
And then fall in?
No, I'm going to shout, order up, and fucking just jump down it.
That might give yourself away a bit.
It might be. Dusty, hear me out. It might be a little easier to pretend to fall in.
But they might still think it's an accident if I drink the wine first. And that I just
Isn't
can't
it no
hold...
one drinks the wine? You pour the wine
You've never
away.
seen anyone drink the wine.
We're pretty sure that the wine is bad.
I'm pretty sure that the Adotta is boring. Okay, if you don't want me to drink the wine, I won't drink the wine.
I would be cautious about drinking the wine.
D does not want
Can
Dusty
we
to
ask
drink the
someone
wine.
what's with the wine?
we
Have we actually done that?
Hmm.
You want to ask someone about the wine?
I do have resistance to poison.
Let's just test it, I guess.
We would have to find some somewhere else that wouldn't be too obvious.
Oh, well, you know they keep it in the back of the kitchen.
Yeah, and there's no secret step in the middle where they drip an eyedropper in it before it goes out.
I think you would have had to have watched that. And it's
Yeah.
too late for this particular session. I mean, if you want to hang around and wait for the next one.
I think we maybe have one more Ordata before we're at risk for just buying into the cult.
Okay, Brilmara is gonna try and find a sneaky spot to try some of the wine.
Oh dear.
Okay.
D does not approve of any of this, if that can go on the record.
I'm resistant to poison, I'll be fine.
So your plan is that you are going to go alone to the back of the kitchen and see if you can drink some of the wine.
Yeah, and just see if it tastes poisonous.
And what are the others going to do at this point?
D would help Dusty prepare for his desired trip down the hole,
Operation Get Dropped in a Hole.
and maybe spend some time trying to talk him out of it. Like, don't scream right before you jump in. Maybe
You've probably got about
Also
6 hours before these are going down, by the way.
be careful in general.
Aww. I mean, as soon as he's told, then Dusty'll just be good and not scream before he goes down the hall.
Aww.
Doesn't want to upset his D. He loves his D.
Dee has seen Dusty withstand a lot of things, but jumping down a seemingly bottomless hole is something that even Dee is not sure that Dusty can withstand.
Well, it's your call. Does Dee actively forbid it?
No, Dee trusts that Dusty's, well, maybe foolishly trusts that Dusty is onto something with jumping down the hole.
Okay. Well, if you're going to be doing this on your own, Brilmara, do you want to roll stealth to try and
Yeah, sure.
get some wine?
22.
Ooh,
Someone used to steal drinks as a child.
I mean, yeah.
and a teenager and an adult.
I mean, yeah.
More the former, less of the latter, but
Yeah, she's actually got money now. It
Yeah.
doesn't stop her occasionally just keeping her hand in.
no.
She's good practice, though.
Okay. So for 22, you chug some wine without anyone looking. So you basically slide into the corner of the kitchen, grab the top of the bottle, look around to the other way, like in one fluid motion, just pop the top off the bottle, neck some, pop the lid back on, stick it back on the shelf, turn around and walk away.
It's that vine of the kid stealing his brother's beer from across the table, having a quick swig and putting it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's masterful. It's not pleasant, but it's just alcohol.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't seem to be actively poisonous.
Nope.
No. Which continues my theory that this is not like suicide cult wine, and it's more maybe you're keeping your god drunk down the bottom of the hole wine. Poison wine wouldn't have made sense for that.
That's true. And
Although I suppose a god could probably just no-sell poison.
Yeah.
And what is alcohol if not poison?
Maybe the poison is what makes it alcohol for the gods.
Well, it doesn't seem to be poisonous. It's probably fine. Which means sending Dusty down into a hole that's presumably full of a lot of it is probably okay.
I mean, it's probably additionally fermenting down there.
Okay, so Dusty's going to get real drunk on the fumes, but not...
Contact high, I'd imagine. Okay, so having tested the wine, headed back and reported in, you've got about 6 hours before they're going to chuck these down the hole, but they'll be wheeled in soon. Do you want to do anything or try and do anything to the plate before it goes through?
Let me see.
Maybe if we try and get Puff to sneak onto the plate, so even if, like someone saves Dusty from his fake fall, then someone's still in the hole.
Well, yeah, that was my thinking, is if I send Puff perhaps with you, I can summon Puff back with Find Familiar. So worst case scenario, we can get one person who knows what's down the hole back up. Dusty, if you're stuck down there forever, that is the case if it happens, but we can get Puff out.
That's true.
Is Puff on board with secret mission of being sent down the hole?
Puff's just like, yeah, whatever.
Can we hype him up? It's gonna be like a secret agent mission. That's cool.
Have you ever tried hyping up a teenager?
Hey, Puff. It's like that one Mine Apothecary music video where they had to sneak into the secret base to shoot all the bad people to do the whole that secret the infiltration one. It's like that. It's like that music video.
It's more enthusiastic, but it's still very much like teen enthusiastic.
Okay,
It's like,
cool. That'll do.
Hooray!
Okay, so do you want to do anything else before waiting for 6 hours?
I can't think of anything else that needs doing.
Okie dokie.
I feel like now is the time Dusty should probably mention that he's been digging tunnels for a week.
Okay, whereabouts are these tunnels? How far from here are those tunnels?
Pretty much anywhere Dusty's been for a length of time, there's probably a tunnel under it. He's
Hmm.
not great at remembering stuff, so he's just followed a grid pattern and hoped for the best.
So just the lines of where the potatoes are planted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Feels useful to know. Right, in you go, Dusty.
So Dusty, you're going to try and get into the plate. Is that correct?
I'm going to try and help the people doing the plate tipping.
Right. Okay. So you're going to wait until the end of the Odotta and then be one of the people to chuck the things, and then just try and fall in.
Yes.
Okay.
Is Puff sneaking in the bag of holding, or...?
I mean, Puff's tiny. Puff could just sneak in the chips as Dusty's helping.
Either works.
I can drop him out of my sleeve. It'll be really cool. He'll be like my tiny magician's assistant.
Okay, and what are the rest of you doing? Are you going to go and sit for the Odota, or...?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you all head in. It's not your turn, but look how pious you are,
Yeah, extra meditation.
right? So you each grab a chalice, and you find a space on the bleachers. The chips smell amazing today.
In order to pass the time, Brilmara is going to try and mentally send Dee a bunch of potato memes that she saw in the library. Potato, no you don't without heating them up first. Oh, potato memes.
Okay, well, the very pious monks and you lot sit around staring at the door, holding your chalices of wine, just as you are getting to the end of the Odota. Someone near the back just starts sobbing.
Uh-oh.
It's like something inside them is broken. They're just sobbing.
Aww.
Somebody saw an
Before
apple
you know-
again.
Could be. Before you know, it's like all the people around them are sobbing, and the people around them start crying, and the people around them, and then in a rush, there is just this huge wave of emotion that just blasts out from that first person that started crying, and everybody is absolutely wrecked emotionally. And this seems to just... It makes the walls rattle and the plate rattle.
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
14.
You think it's some kind of chain reaction? The fact that everyone was so focused on doing the same thing and so focused on looking at the door, waiting for their god to come, and that everyone having been that in tune for so long has just made it a possibility that there is a shockwave reaction. Everyone feeling, that great sadness. But the actual, wave of energy from it? Fuck knows.
Can we identify who the person was that first cried?
Okay, everyone roll Constitution.
14.
6.
18.
Okay, Brilmara, you brush it off pretty quickly. There's a few tears, you wipe them away. Dee is just on the floor sobbing.
I'm sorry I sent you bad memes.
Just takes a little while to recover. Yeah, it is. You do have that feeling of with the chips. We sat here waiting, and God has not returned.
Is this crying of our God has forsaken us?
What forsaken? But just hasn't come back.
Not interested. We're getting ghosted by God.
Also, side note, I can't stop thinking about potato memes now.
Yay!
I'm picturing a foot, and every one of the toes is a potato, and it's potatoes.
Oh.
That's a potato meme, everyone.
Yay!
Boo.
Okay. So, do you want to try and work out who it was that started crying first?
Yeah, sure. How could I do that? Do I have anything that could help to investigate that?
Oh, Nick.
Wow.
What?
Look at the group chat.
Have you sent us potato memes?
He has sent us potato memes. Boo!
Okay, listeners,
Nice.
Nick sent us potato memes.
My name is Indigo Montoya. You be of my father. Prepare to fry. Yes.
So that is what Brilmara spent the week doing. Okay,
Okay, so the monks are still sobbing, but if you want to roll investigation, we can
Yeah.
see if you can work out exactly who started it.
15.
Okay, you get a pretty good idea. You could identify this person again. Right now, they are surrounded by sobbing monks.
Okay. So I might see them later and go, oh, it's you! But for now...
Right now, I mean, you can try and just go up there if you want.
I'm pondering trying to mentally communicate with them from a distance.
Will they be able to identify that it's you doing it?
Do it.
Have a look. I can communicate telepathically with any creature I can see within 30 feet. I don't know if I'm within 30 feet of them. I don't need to share a language with them. It doesn't make it clear if they would know it was me. It's a telepathic communication.
Can you do a will save against it?
I don't believe so. I think I just open up a hey, hello.
What do you want
Can
to
you
say
do a
to
will
this
save
person?
against being spoken to?
Can I do an accent in my mind?
As long as it's not godly, I feel like that would be a bit wrong.
I mean, I hadn't considered that, but that is a solution. Have this, my child. No, I was more gonna put on an accent so that they don't recognise that it's me if they hear my voice later.
Gotcha.
Can I think in an accent?
Sure.
I want to think at them.
You've got to do the accent though.
Okay. Which one do I want to go with? Oh,
Russian,
hello,
it's
dear.
potatoes.
Hello, dear. Sorry, don't mind. I'll pop into your mind for just a moment. Could you tell me what kicked off the crying? I just want to make sure you're all right.
They're now looking around, and all the people around them are like, "Are you okay?" And they cry out, it's just like, "Our God, where is our God?" They're being sort of quiet, shushed by those around them.
I'm sure they'll come soon. We just need faith.
I have faith. I have faith. I believe in Pussmare.
I'm still trying to spot the pun here.
We all do, though. The potatoes.
Okay, people are starting to recover, and a couple of people are heading for the chips. This is your chance, Dusty.
Okay. What do I roll for sleight of entire duster?
Dex. 5.
5.
Okay, you're trying to get there really quickly because you want to be one of the ones to do it. And they open up the trapdoor in the floor. They start tipping the plate. You leap over your bench on the bleachers. You catch your toe on the back of the thing. Deck your face into the bench 4 or 5 below you. Do a complete 360 over. Deck your face on the floor in front of it. And then just roll down the hole covered in chips.
I mean, you probably no-sold it really well because you legitimately accidentally tripped over and fell in the hole.
I accidentally achieved my goal.
Okay.
I walked backwards into success.
There's a moment at the top of the hole where everyone is just sat looking at each other going, I don't know what to do now.
Because this never happened.
This has literally never happened.
Oh, dang.
Somebody calls down, are you okay down there? Hello? Hello? Brother Dusty? Hello?
Is Dusty okay down there?
Dusty, can I have a dexterity check, please?
I mean, it's gone great for me so far.
Hasn't it just?
7.
Okay.
But I do have an out available. Go on, dole out the punishment, it'll be funnier.
You're going to take 10 acid damage. You feel like you've fallen into something goopy?
Ew.
It smells bad down here. Real fucking bad. And
Awesome.
because you're in something goopy, you're unable to reply. Upstairs, monks look awkwardly at each other, unsure what to do. Their leader is sort of hurries forth, has a sort of quick council with everyone standing around, looks for Brilmara and D.
Brilmara sort of rushes down and goes, I
Yeah.
think our friend fell down the hole. They just wanted to help to serve Pussmare.
As we all do. We all serve Pussmare. Their piety is inspiring, yet clumsy.
It's ambition over dexterity.
Dee will resume weeping.
Indeed,
It feels like they've rolled rather badly.
Yes. What do we do? How do we get them out?
well, this has never happened before.
Do we know anything about the hole? How deep is the hole? Do we need how long of a rope do we need to get them back up?
Well, we've been throwing chips down there for hundreds of years. It hasn't filled up yet.
Or maybe it's just very wide and not very deep.
It could be, I suppose. Does anyone have any rope?
Who's got an adventurer's pack?
None of you right now. You've not been carrying them with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to run upstairs, I won't stop you.
D will go fetch it.
It's going to be more than 30 foot, isn't it? I can't just telepath down to Dusty down there. I'm going to try and telepath down to Dusty. Dusty?
You can use Puff as a focus, can't you?
Hmm.
This is why I brought
you
Puff.
can use
I
Puff's
can
eyes
look
and ears.
through Puff's eyes and ears. I might do that once Brilmara is not in the immediate, like, hello, I'm here trying to save my friend situation. If I can do so subtly, like maybe have Brilmara sit down somewhere just like, I'm just so worried about my friend, head in hands, to then have, like, I'm going to go look through Puff's eyes for a bit.
Okay. It's dark down there, real dark, but there's some sort of goo that Dusty has fallen into.
Is
and
it
currently
fermented wine
inside.
and potato paste?
I mean, without some kind of lab, you probably couldn't tell exactly what it is, but it appears to be alive.
Alive?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Oh no. Is it Pussmare?
It doesn't look like a picture, I'll be honest.
Well, I mean, hundreds of years of potato and potato wine would probably change your appearance.
It looks like a large gelatinous cube.
Oh no, not a large gelatinous cube.
Yeah.
Not the
Large
cube.
gelatinous cubes are very bad.
Yeah.
Has D got the rope yet?
So woozy. Yeah, you run upstairs, you can come panting back down.
Uh-huh.
Are you going to try and tie it to something?
Is there anything big to tie it to?
You can tie it to the bleachers.
Yeah.
Okay. So, tied to the bleachers, so that's about 10 foot lost at the top, but you've got 20 foot down the hole now.
And still no sign. If Brilmara lowers herself 20 foot down, could she telepath Dusty now?
I mean, you didn't try to telepath Dusty before, you only went straight for Puff.
Oh, I thought I tried to telepath
No,
Dusty.
you just went straight for Puff.
Oh. Okay. Getting back out of Puff's eyes for a second.
Okay,
Brilmara would like to try and go 20 foot down the hole and try and telepath to Dusty.
so that's a maximum of 50 feet. From
Yes.
there. Right. Yeah, you can contact Dusty.
So it's not a particularly deep hole, but the cube has been consuming and dissolving everything, and
You have no idea.
Brilmara is going to shout back up to the people up top. The hole's only like 50 foot deep.
Well,
Oh.
Dusty's only 50 foot deep.
Okay, Dusty's only like 50 foot down.
Can I get a second rope?
Anyone got more rope?
Do you have an adventurer's pack?
I don't know, do I have an adventurer's pack? Let's find out. I have an immovable rod.
You do have an immovable rod.
Oh!
Are you going to tie the bottom of the rope to the immovable rod and then throw
Go
the rest
further
of the rope?
down.
Yes, but how will you get back out?
Oh yeah, good shout. Although,
Does he just have an idea on how to get out himself?
No. I've got it. I climb back up.
Right.
I set the immovable rod at the top of the hole, so it's now 10 foot closer, so I can go 10 foot lower, because it's
Okay.
not around the bleachers anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, sure.
I go 10 foot further down.
Okay, you're still not quite there.
Oh.
I mean, you could drop, but you wouldn't be getting back to the rope.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I have brewer's supplies, that's unhelpful.
I mean, you could ferment something when you get down there. There's plenty of potatoes.
Ah.
If Dusty calls out, how far away does he sound?
If Dusty calls out, all you get is like...
Is Dusty encased?
Because Dusty's encased in a gelatinous cube.
You should
Ah.
probably do
okay.
something about that, Dusty.
I'm really glad Dusty doesn't need to breathe.
I tell you what we should do. We should roll initiative. Dusty, roll initiative.
3. I botched.
Nice.
You
Minus
also
1.
botched.
I mean, it's hard to take the initiative when you're a cube.
And somebody's just landed on you.
Like,
Or in you.
Okay.
Food.
And gelatinous cubes, they can eat all kinds of organic matter, can't they?
All
Okay.
kinds of things. Yep.
And Puff, if Puff dies, they just respawn, right? Okay.
Mhm.
I can dispel Puff if Puff is in danger. Is Puff currently flying, not in the goo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Puff's just outside the radius of the goo, just like, there's a lot of goo.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to jump into the initiative, but it will mean you won't be able to run around upstairs anymore.
Okay. Brilmara's going to shout up to D.
Uh-huh.
I'm going down. Get more rope.
More rope. D will rush to find more rope.
In which case, we'll roll Brilmara into this as well.
23 on initiative. Oh no, that means I have to go first and make decisions about what to do.
Well, we're going to say that Dusty's going to go first, and you're going to come in the next round.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense.
Dusty, can I get a dex roll, please? Because you're currently restrained.
17.
Okay, you managed to, like, swim out of the cube. Yeah, you are free.
Yay!
You are free.
Uh,
What's your night vision like?
I don't have it. 12 on Percept.
With disadvantage, it's an 11. So, yeah, you're struggling to see anything down here. You can still sense the squelchy of the ooze. So, Dusty, you're out. So the cube is going to try and gobble you up again. So that's another DC 12 saving throw.
11!
You're back in the cube.
Back in the cube with me.
Ah, damn,
So
Becky.
take another 10 damage.
Okay. I like
I
that
need you-
what Brilmara saw was him just, like, burst out and get dragged back to hell.
I like the image that you swam out and then it just sort of rolled over on another side and just like splat you again.
Ugh.
See, I'm really frustrated that you're back in the cube because the plan I had to fight the cube requires you to not be in the cube.
I mean, my plans also involve mostly not being in the cube.
Well, I was going to electrocute the cube because it's made of largely water, it's gel, and that seemed like it would be a good way to hurt it, but also a good way to hurt anything inside of it.
Oh, come on, you know that Dusty's sturdy.
You've just taken like 20 damage from like cube acid.
Fair enough.
That's got to be like a third of your health.
Almost.
Yeah.
Brilmara hit you.
Okay, so Witch Bolt is out right now. I don't think I should be using Vampiric Touch because that would require keeping a hand on the acid cube, and I would just get sucked into the cube. I feel like best plan right now is to try and like chop bits off of the cube. Can I like try and get some mace attacks to try and like splat some bits of the cube off?
You can try and spat the cube, or you can try and pull Dusty out.
Dusty, if I pull you out, do you have a plan for how to hurt this thing?
No.
I mean, I need to pull you out anyway. I'm going to pull Dusty out.
Okay, give me a dex roll. Strength roll.
Strength. Could it be Dex, please?
No.
11?
Nope.
Oh.
You take 10 damage.
Me?
Yep.
For trying to help pull someone out?
Yep.
I didn't think I was going in
You had to
do
put
that.
your arms in to reach.
Oh, fuck. I probably wouldn't have done that if I realised it was going to cost me 10 health. Oops. I'm a squishy character.
D, what are you doing?
Have I fetched another rope?
Yeah, you're going to need a little bit longer for that. We are back to Dusty.
What, are you saying you can't go upstairs, fetch a rope and come down in 6 seconds?
Yes. Dusty.
That's a 21 to Dex.
Okay, you are out with flying colours.
I didn't get pulled in when
No.
Okay, cool.
So you're both out.
Yay!
Congratulations.
I feel so good to finally be out.
It's the cube's turn. Cube is going to take a swing at Dusty for 8.
No.
It's just a casual swing.
Well, like a little
it
cheeky
does this.
spank on the way out, yeah?
Yeah.
A cube nuzzle.
Aw.
Playful more than anything.
Indeed. Brilmara, we're back to you.
Okay, step back as far as possible and witch bolt this thing.
Okay.
17.
Heck yes.
Okay, I'm pumping it full of electricity in the hope that I can basically cook it. Electricity through water.
Fancy.
11 damage.
Okay. Dusty.
So, to check, we're both stood on the cube? Question mark?
You're stood on a big pile of squelchy, nasty chips. So it's a bit greasy underfoot,
Okay.
and it smells of rotting potatoes and fermented potato wine.
Okay.
And you can barely see, so disadvantage on attacks, I'm afraid.
In that case,
Oh, I can see down here.
You can.
I've
Yeah.
got good eyes.
Yeah.
Dusty is going to use Dust Devil to create a 5-foot cube of swirling angry sand and loose dirt and small gravel.
Inside. Oh, I'm now imagining those squelchy toys that you throw out the window and they roll down, but then they get dirty after a few days.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna
Okay.
fur it up real bad. But the dirt
Go
is
for
angry. Angry
Oh.
dirt.
Angry dirt.
Give me a strength saving throw, and it's 1d8 bludgeoning and a 10-foot push if you fail against 14.
13.
That is 1d8 and a 10-foot pushback,
Okay, it squelches as it's pushed back.
and takes 3 damage.
It still looks like a cube of gelatin,
Yeah.
but now it's slightly dusty.
Dirty gelatin.
The cube is going to take a swipe at Dusty for making it all dusty. 9?
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, the cube's flirting with Dusty.
Brilmara, at you.
More electricity into the cube. 5 more damage.
Okay. Dusty?
The Dust Devil is concentration.
Okay.
So, can I do anything else if I'm concentrating?
You can do any other spell that doesn't require concentration.
Strength save.
Just like this cube rolls a 9.
2 damage and a 10-foot push.
It squelches slightly further away.
Okie dokie. Dusty is going to cast Cure Wounds on Brilmara.
Oh.
Yay! Thank you!
How many cures?
8 cures.
Hooray! Thank you!
And as Dusty does it, there's just this, like, he's got the biggest eyes right now. He feels very, very like, oh, you did me a saving.
No.
Hooray!
There's a little tremble going on just in that lip.
Oh.
The cube is going to take another swing at Dusty and miss. I like to imagine that when it attacks, it does like a little sort of makes a little tendril out of its goo and just thwacks. But it's not very good at making limbs because it's usually just a cube. D, puffing and panting, you are at the top of the hole with some more rope.
Rope. Is Brilmara on the other end of the rope?
No, she's dropped down.
Okay. Then checking the rope to make sure that there's nobody hanging on it, the D would then lower with the rope to tie the end. Oh, maybe this might be easier if I bring the rope up, actually.
I mean, you could just tie the rope to the bleachers and to the immovable rod and turn the immovable rod off.
I could do that. That's smart. D will
Exactly.
do that.
Dusty would never have thought of that.
So rope to bleachers, and then undo the immovable rod and cinch those 2 ropes together so now they have the full line, hopefully down to...
Now, are you going to try and go down there as well, or...?
If there's enough time to secure all these ropes and then descend.
Okay, you can secure the ropes and start like making your way down. What's your movement?
30 feet.
Okay, so
Yes.
you can make it about 15 feet down on top of everything else you've done.
Excellent.
Okay, Brilmara.
More electricity into the cube.
Zappy feet. I got them
10.
zappy feet.
10 electric in the cube.
10 electric in the cube is going to try and engulf Dusty again. Let's have a DC 12 dex save. It's a 9. It squelches upon you. Sklorp. Sklorp, in fact. Yeah. So you're sklorped and you're going to take another 10 damage.
Okie dokie.
D,
Yes.
how's that rope working out for you?
I believe it's working pretty well.
Okay, you are at the bottom of a rope.
Can I see everyone else?
How's your night vision?
Not the best. Maybe
Do you have any
non-existent.
dark vision or anything? No, okay.
Well, should have thought about this.
Ooh.
Yeah. I feel like it's maybe in our best interest to all start climbing the rope and to get out of the pit. I think we don't want to keep messing with the cube.
Yeah.
Well, right now, Dusty's in the cube.
I mean, I think we gotta get Dusty out the cube and then we'll get up out the thing.
Dusty can get himself out of the cube. You can split.
We came down to help you out the cube, out the thing.
Well, since D cannot see and is merely holding what they perceive as the end of this rope, D will call out and say, "The rope's over here. Let's go."
I think Brilmara needs to be down here to shepherd everyone in the direction of the rope that she can see.
I mean, if you want to throw me a heel, then
Prayer might work. That you can see. Damn, so healing word won't work. Prayer of healing, nope, also requires me to see.
Well, you can see, it's transparent.
Oh, so I can see.
You can see Dusty.
Oh, perfect. And does Dusty look particularly banged up?
I think Dusty's taken like 30 damage now.
Then, wow, okay, that's impressive.
So, 6 health for Dusty.
yay!
Brilmara, innocent enemies of me, I go blame. What do?
Is anyone currently still in the cube?
Dusty.
Dusty.
Dusty the cube dweller.
Okay. Brilmara is going to shepherd D to the rope and go, thank you for bringing the rope, get out of here. And then Brilmara is going to attempt to get Dusty out of the cube.
Okay, let's have a strength save.
16?
Yeah, you grab Dusty with a slurp.
Yep.
Schlorp.
Dusty is out.
And point Dusty at the rope and go, rope, here, go.
I mean, with your movement, you could take Dusty to the thing.
Okay, I take Dusty to the rope.
Okay, as you're leaving, you're going to take an attack of opportunity. 13.
That's not going to hit.
Oh, excellent. So it just you just feel it swish behind the back of your head.
Oh.
There's a little splatter of oozy bits as you're going, but you are all able to start heading up the rope.
Huzzah!
Woo!
Getting to the top of the rope, puffing, panting, and sizzling a bit in Dusty's case.
Yeah.
The monks look quite relieved to see that you're all okay.
Hi, we're all okay.
Good thing we've been doing so much farming.
Indeed.
Uh,
In order to not blow cover, Brilmara is going to go, I'm sorry, we've caused a whole bit of palaver here. Do you mind if we sit on the next
Odotta.
on the next Odotta just to, sit and contemplate and to recenter ourselves? I'm sorry we've caused such trouble.
Are you sure you wouldn't rather rest? It seems like you've had quite a trial down there.
If you're sure you are the people that know these things, I wanted to make sure I wasn't, skipping an opportunity for contemplation that perhaps was necessary.
All our contemplations are necessary. Someone will take your places, but I feel that you should all take some time to rest.
Thank you.
Okay, so retrieving your rope, you are left to rest. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone. I have been the mistress of this dungeon. I am Jane Aerith Magnet. I can be found on Twitter and YouTube as Maniac Janiac. I'm on SoundCloud as Jane Aerith Magnet, where you might be listening to this now. I'm also on stonemonkeyradio.blog, where I write things, twitch.tv/Janiac, where I stream on Tuesday and Thursday nights, janiac.redbubble.com, where you can get one of my fantastic t-shirts, and patreon.com/stonedmonkeyradio. As little as $1 a month would be super helpful.
Hi, this is Nick, and you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and stream at the Nick Flair. And if you'd like to read some media analysis and self-reflections that I'm writing, you can follow my blog at storieswithnick.blog.
I'm Laura. You can find me at Laura K. Buzz everywhere on the internet. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Patreon. That's the one that pays the bills. LauraKBuzz.com. I do a series on YouTube every Friday called Accessibility, where I talk about video game industry accessibility and representation. I've got a bunch of books. There's Uncomfortable Labels, which is out now. It's about being gay and trans. There is Things I Learned from Mario's Butt, which is coming out on February 4th. It's an illustrated, silly and serious coffee table book of video game character butt reviews. And there's Gender Euphoria, which is an anthology of non-cisgender people's stories of euphoric moments they had in regard to their gender, which is going to be out at some point in the future when it's written. There's also podcasts. There's Pixel Squirt, which is a video game pornography discussion podcast with Mari and Stacey from Geek Remix. There's Dice Funk, which is another D&D podcast. I'm on seasons 3, 4, 5, 6, and season 7. They're all self-contained seasons. And there's Podquisition, where we talk about whether your favourite video games are great or perfect.
I'm Becky. I can be found as @Becky2ill on Twitter. The last series that we recorded, Battle of Designated Heroes, can be found under Curiosity Epidemic on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts.
See you again sometime. Oh, bye!
Bye.
So, if we need to destroy evidence at some point during this whole cult thing, we can just throw it in the cube hole.